Welcome to the chicken wing dissection. We are going to be dissecting a chicken wing so that we can look at the skeletal system, look at the muscular system, and also look at how the two of them work together to ensure that you can move your bones. So when you get your chicken wing, there's going to be a couple things you need to understand and things you need to hear and be able to identify. This joint here is the shoulder joint. This is where the wing was connected to the bird and got cut off. We'll refer to this as our first joint. We'll refer to this point here as our second joint, and this area here is the wing tip. Now our goal today is to remove all of the skin from the shoulder to the second joint to expose the muscle. We're going to leave the skin on the wing tip. So in order to do this, you need to use your dissecting scissors. What you're going to do is you want to make an incision from the shoulder down to the first joint, and then from the first joint up to the second joint, just in the skin. You want to try to avoid cutting muscle. To do that, you're going to lift up on the skin. Now you can use forceps for this if you're not willing to touch the chicken, but this is a chicken wing that you go buy at the grocery store and you probably had it last night for dinner. And you're going to insert your scissors and make this cut. You insert your scissors at a downward angle and then bring the tips up to ensure that you're not cutting the muscle. So insert your scissors and then just snip away down towards that first joint. If you happen to cut the muscle a little bit, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to get a bad grade unless you're in Miss Shields' class.
Mr. Waldeck, can you show the connective tissue?
I am getting there, Miss Shield. I am getting there. First I'm just showing them the incision they're going to make.
All right.
So from the shoulder to the first joint, and then the first joint up towards the second joint. I think I just got a little deep there and cut some muscle, but as I said, not the end of the world.
Ouch.
Now, what you'll notice once you make these incisions is that the skin is not coming off. And that is because the skin is actually connected to the muscle by connective tissue. Remember, the four types of tissue in the body are muscle, nerve, epithelial, and connective. The skin is epithelial tissue, it's covering tissue. And then this clear stuff here that is holding the skin onto the muscle is connective tissue. You'll see it on the other side as well, if I can pull that away. There's this clear tissue here that's holding this onto the muscle. Now in order to separate the muscle from the skin, all you need to do is gently snip away at that connective tissue. This muscle here doesn't matter. I'm going to get rid of it because that's part of the other muscle from the other joint. But this connective tissue here, all I'm going to do is snip away at it right next to the muscle. I'm using the very tips of my scissors to cut away that tissue. And as you can see, as I do that, the skin peels away from the muscle. I'm going to turn this around and do it on the other side as well. And this one's a little harder. I'm just going to get the tips of my scissors in there and make some little cuts to
And try
begin
not to
to
cut
peel
yourself, Mr. Waldeck, and students. Makes me nervous.
As always, you exercise caution when using sharp objects. And you see that connective tissue right there? We're just going to snip that, and that begins to peel away. At this point, you may be able to just rip the skin, not yet. Okay. And I'm going to continue this process of just snipping away at that connective tissue until I expose the muscle.
And you can sort of also tell the difference between the skin and the muscle because the skin's going to be much lighter in color.
And the muscle is
have
this
a different
dark
texture,
pink.
and the muscle will be more of a darker pink.
So you're just going to have to work your way around the chicken wing, snipping away connective tissue until you expose all of the muscle. Now, this bit of tissue here, there's no muscle in between, so what I tend to do is just hack away at that. Not the greatest terminology, but if you just cut down that muscle to that joint and then cut right along here as well, if you pull that out, you can see where that's going to meet the muscle. You cut down there, throw that away, and you're beginning to expose the muscle here. So just keep snipping away at that connective tissue until you've removed all the skin from the shoulder down to the second joint here. And we're going to stop here. I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll come back and look at a clean chicken wing.
Ready?